Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the WMA podcast. My name is Hannah Lakian, and I'll be the host of today's episode where we talk with Kara Case. Kara is both a CFA and CFP professional who currently works at Herbert Financial Group as a wealth advisor. In today's conversation, we discuss why Kara entered into the financial services industry, HFG's view on investing and planning, tools to help communicate with clients, the importance of confidence in an advisor, what it means to be a lifelong learner, how to build your network with mentors, general advice, and so much more. Stay tuned. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the WMA podcast. Joining us on today's episode is Kara Case. Kara is a CFA and CFP professional who currently works at Herbert Financial Group as a wealth advisor. Welcome, Kara, and thank you so much for being on.
Thank you so much for having me, Hannah and team.
Yes. All right, Kara, so tell us a little bit about yourself and your journey to get to where you are in the financial advisory industry.
Absolutely. So I was one of those rare birds who knew before I stepped on MSU's campus that I was going to pursue a career in wealth management. Similar to many others who enter the field, I did have some family influence. For better or worse, I am a female version of my father, so I knew it would be a good fit for me, as he is in the industry as well. It's unfortunate that many of my peers did not have that influence growing up and therefore didn't even know it existed. So I'm thrilled that the wealth management minor and the student organization and individuals such as yourself, Hannah, really launched this forward on campus. And I feel that you guys and the professors are doing a wonderful job spreading the word. Once I was on campus, because I did not have those organizations available to me yet, I did join the Student Investment Association and Finance Association. They both allowed me to network with my peers, connect with some wonderful mentors. I had an internship on the investment research side of a wealth management firm after my junior year, and upon graduation, joined an analyst program of a private bank. Both were terrific experiences, and after a few years into my career, my dad reaches out and says, hey, our practice is growing and we need a third advisor. At that time, it was him and one other advisor, Scott, who's still with us, along with, of course, some fantastic support staff. So in 2017, I joined the practice as a wealth advisor. It has been very rewarding to get to know our clients over the past 4.5 years and really grow the firm with our incredible team.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing, Kara. It's awesome to hear your journey and kind of see how it kind of started all with your dad. So I love that. I'd love to talk now a little bit more about Herbert Financial Group and kind of what is the mission of HFG and what's your view on investing and your team's view on investing and planning?
Yeah, absolutely. Great question. So as a holistic wealth management firm, our mission is really to ensure our clients are confident in every single financial decision they make, whether that's related to planning, investments, insurance, of course, retirement is in the mix. While we're not CPAs or attorneys ourselves, we do have a few strategic partners in tax, estate, Medicare, and mortgages that we work with too. So whether it's with one of our strategic partners or not, we also collaborate very closely with our clients' professionals on the tax and estate planning as well, as it does tend to overlap with some of the strategies we're suggesting and implementing for our clients. Myself, my dad, Tim, and our other advisor, Scott, we all hold our advisory and FINRA licenses, as we feel it's important to be able to offer both managed portfolios in a fee-based manner, but also insurance products to our clients to provide that holistic experience. In terms of our view on investing and planning, so investment management first, I like to call our process tactical, a mix between strategic and tactical management. Being a chartered financial analyst myself, One of my responsibilities is overseeing that investment management process. However, it's not just myself, us three advisors and our planners. Our back office is LPL Financial. They're actually the largest independent broker-dealer in the U.S. They just surpassed $1 trillion in assets under management and have a very deep bench of CFAs who full-time are focused on investment management. So we do rely heavily on their asset allocation, manager due diligence to build our portfolios we trade. And they also have a platform with a plethora of portfolios managed by their team, so LPL Research themselves. In addition to firms like JP Morgan, PIMCO, there's also Herbert, who specializes in ESG, environmental social governance, as an option. We use SMAs and bond ladders for some of our high net worth clients. So that's an overview of our investment management philosophy. And while money management is a vital service we provide, I would argue our real value comes from the planning side with specializations. So my dad actually started his career in General Motors in HR and labor relations. So naturally, we have an automotive specialization that we've really built out over the last 30 years. We know their benefits like the back of our hand, and we truly understand the issues that they face. The automotive industry has always been cyclical, but now it's under more pressure than ever with the move to autonomous vehicles and electric vehicles. So we read their summaries on their plan descriptions, monitor interest rates on how they impact their pension, examine their incentive plans so these executives can focus on what they do best in their industry. And then being a small business owner myself, I've been focusing on a niche of clientele, so I'm able to relate and provide expertise in areas like employer-sponsored retirement plans, and can speak intelligently to their CPAs on the nuances of being self-employed and their attorneys on legal structure. So our clients are doing a lot of great work in their field. In terms of our planning philosophy, we aim to take the stress off of their investment management and financial planning pieces of their lives.
Definitely awesome. Thank you so much for sharing, Kara. You mentioned this holistic experience. Can you talk a little bit more about that and the importance of having your clients have this holistic experience?
Absolutely. So while we can't be everything to everyone, we definitely do our best. And we just want to make sure that we are their one-stop shop for any issues that impact them. We know enough to be dangerous about a lot of financial planning matters, and if there's something we need to do a deeper dive on, we absolutely can do that. And then I think really being their quarterback and implementing the plans that on the tax planning side or the estate planning side as it relates to their whole picture, I think is really important because our clients themselves are busy, their other professionals are busy. So we really make sure things are implemented and are ultimately done as they should to provide the best value for them.
Definitely awesome. Thank you. I love the use of, being the quarterback. That's awesome. Now I kind of want to talk about, I saw that you used to be an analyst at the private bank at JP Morgan. How was that transition from working there to now being, a wealth advisor at HFG, and, kind of how is that different, and how has that experience been for you?
Sure. Well, number one, the weather was different. I was in Arizona, so it was hard to transition back to the Michigan winters, that's for sure. But of course, growing up here, you get used to it, and our summers are beautiful, so can't complain too much. I do really miss my team there in Arizona too. I obviously can't say enough incredible things about our team here. Our spirited director of marketing, Liz, our superhuman director of operations, Danielle, and our talented senior paraplanner, Kevin. When I first joined our practice, my dad, our partner, Scott, were the only advisors. They were pretty established. We did not have paraplanners quite yet, which are equivalent to analysts and associates in the private bank. They're basically servicing advisors. They just don't hold client appointments on their calendar. So I just had a little bit of a challenge transitioning and connecting with peers on the financial advising side because, like I said, Tim and Scott were established and I didn't have a lot of peers and kind of my career point. So I had to do a lot of independent study and push myself outside my comfort zone to find peers to connect with. As a result of that experience, although a positive one, I aim to ensure all the young talent we bring here has the opportunity to connect with one another and the rest of our teams. We bring them their interns and paraplanners on client appointments, ensure to loop them in on any training opportunities we can. And then we also joined LPL in December of 2019, which was a couple of years after I joined our firm. And they actually provide, in addition to the investment management, of course, supervision for compliance purposes. They have departments that specialize in financial planning and insurance as well. They even have a high net worth team. So all these different departments put out a lot of different training opportunities and content. So I've been able to leverage that for myself and also a lot of our young talent here. And because a broker dealer we were with before was like our back office and our team wasn't quite as large. So it's really been rewarding to see our firm grow and continue to expand our resources so we can provide best service to our clients, of course, but also the best environment for our team.
Yes, definitely. You mentioned, connecting with your peers. Do you have any advice or maybe, successful ways that you were able to, engage in those relationships and kind of build connections with people in this, financial advisor community?
Sure. I love the word community. I think that describes our industry well. Plenty of business to go around, and a lot of the best ways to learn, I should say, is from your peers. There's business networking groups, similar to student organizations when you're on campus. There's plenty professional organizations to join as well. So I definitely encourage those as a way. Whether you join a big firm, don't be shy to reach out to individuals in other departments. Coffee is a regular thing with some of my coworkers. I've created some great mentors by just grabbing a cup of coffee with some of my peers. So I would say definitely don't be shy.
Definitely awesome. Love that. I mean, what's the worst they can say? No, great. Thank you for the advice. Yes.
Sure.
I'd love to talk kind of more about kind of what your day to day. I mean, how are your days different or what do your days look like as a financial advisor or what do your days or your weeks look like, working with your team?
Sure. Gosh, that's a difficult one, I would say, because no day is the same. But you know what? It's really not that too different than the life of a student. We are truly lifelong students. Our clients rely on us immensely. We're constantly learning so we can be the subject matter experts on any issues they face as it relates to personal wealth management. One caveat, of course, is knowing when things are out of our scope, and that's when the collaboration with your other professional comes into play. But to answer your question more directly, I would say the typical day includes preparing for client meetings, conducting those client meetings, and responding to any client service questions that come up in between. It's really the topics of planning and the conversation that changes day to day.
Awesome. Now I'd like to, talk about these interactions that you're able to have with these clients. I guess, what are some strategies or some ways that you're able to effectively communicate with your clients and kind of build that trust between, the advisor and the client?
Sure. So we were using a software called GoToMeeting before the pandemic hit. But of course, web-based appointments are the new norm. So that's obviously been a tool that we've used. In terms of technology, we also love our client portal. So it is actually powered by eMoney, which I believe is owned by Fidelity. But we're able to white label it through LPL with our HFG logo. But it provides a great resource. I just think that's a good example of, while we are a boutique wealth management firm who know our clients very well, having LPL as our back office really is able to provide us with the resources that a large firm would have. So that client portal is one example. And we're able to include all of their data in there, their accounts here, of course. They can link their outside accounts. There's a spending and budgeting tool. There's a vault with unlimited secure cloud storage. There is, I love the task check mark. It's like a little notification at the top where we can put, hey, here are some of the topics that we're focusing on. Hey, don't forget to reach out to your estate planning attorney and get your will and power of attorney and maybe a trust completed. So that's one way we're able to communicate and keep track of some of the items that we're helping our clients with. Of course, there is the retirement software in there to help them provide for that stable financial future. I would say we really also try to meet our clients where they are. I think it's important to know your audience. Every client's a little bit different in terms of their communication style and what they're looking for. Executives are very busy, so you have to make sure that you're being flexible with them, and some people are better via email. So I would say that the strategy definitely depends on the client.
Definitely. Awesome. Thank you. I wanted, I love hearing about, the technicals or the technology and software that, was so amazing to have. What are some of maybe the soft skills that you think, help make a financial advisor successful, or what are some of those characteristics?
Sure. So I would say competence and confidence. You have to have both. So it's obviously important to have that strong technical base, do your studies, know what you're talking about, and naturally then hopefully you have the confidence to be able to deliver that. So I think clients can really tell if you're convicted and if you're confident and you feel comfortable in what you're delivering, that they'll be able to see through that. And I think that helps provide trust in the relationship, absolutely.
Definitely, yes. I couldn't agree more. As you've said earlier, kind of this idea of being a lifelong learner. I think that's an incredible opportunity that, this financial advisor career kind of lays out for you. So I love that.
Sure.
Yeah. Next, I want to ask, is there anything, that deals with financial advising or in this industry that you don't think is, maybe talked about enough, or that, should, have some light shed on it?
Sure. That's a great open-ended question. I think you can take that a lot of different ways. I love that. So one thing I would say is, of course, investment management is the exciting and sexy side of the business, but there's so much more to our industry. I know when I first began my career, I was focused on that investment management, and that is why I pursued the CFA from the start. I do think it provided some great technical background and skills that I definitely still rely on. But there are so many different areas in wealth management that you can focus on in addition to investment management. You can focus on the technical side of financial planning, complex insurance planning. There's a lot of really neat strategies you can do there. Estate planning for high net worth clients, or you can specialize in a niche that you're interested in, like maybe the tech clientele or nonprofit organizations or business owners, attorneys, or doctors. So this industry is really what you make of it, and you find something that you're passionate about, and that'll come through and carry you throughout your career because you want to love what you do. Work is always going to be work, but something that you're passionate about will definitely make it easier to go through that day to day.
Definitely, yes. Thank you for sharing. And you talked about, kind of starting off with the CFA, and I know you also are a CFP professional. I guess it kind of goes more into, constantly learning and building those skills and, wanting to learn more. What was kind of, your journey of, doing the CFA and then, getting your CFP later on? I guess, how was that process for you? I know a lot of our listeners are, kind of, hoping to take the CFP or pursue their CFA designation. Do you have any advice for that? Or I guess, how was your journey doing that?
Sure. So because I did not have the program at Michigan State, I did not graduate with the proper education to sit for the CFP exam upon graduation. However, I did start level 1 during college. Don't know if I'd necessarily suggest that. There's a balance you want to play between preparing for your financial career and enjoying your college years. But I was able to start that process in college and then finish that up. And having the CFA designation allows you to skip the education requirements for the CFP. You have to take one class and do the proposal. At least when I took it, that was part of the process. So thankfully, that saved me a little bit of time, and I was able to sit for the CFP exam shortly after. So I think having both creates a nice, well-rounded technical background, but the CFP designation for wealth management, I would say, creates more of a understanding of more of a variety of topics, where the CFA is obviously pretty deep on the investment management side.
Definitely awesome. I love that Michigan State kind of has this, that we get our, those set courses taken so that we're able to sit for the CFP exam. I think it's an incredible, thing that Michigan State's doing. So I'm very excited. But yeah, I think it's so awesome that you have the CFA and the CFP. I think that's so cool. But yeah, so I want to ask, what would you say to anyone who is, considering, a career in financial planning or financial advising? And, maybe more specifically, as a woman, what would you say to, any females who are looking, to enter into this, industry?
Sure. I mean, I'll go back to my points. It's really about what you can make it, you can find. There's so many areas in wealth management. I mean, finance itself has different industries, right? But then even within wealth management, there's like sub industries, I would almost argue. So there's other professionals who can focus on one particular piece, and they're really good at that, and they find that niche and have that great value add. So you can really find anything you're interested in, anything you're passionate about. There's so much to explore. And then as it relates specifically to women, I think the industry has come a long way. I actually think it's a great fit. You obviously want to make sure that you find the right team that's a good culture fit for you, male or female. And I think women just being naturally more empathetic, no offense to our male colleagues, but I think we do make a great financial advisor, and we're really able to relate to a variety of individuals and really truly understand their issues and be compassionate towards those issues. And I think a lot of individuals find comfort in that, and it's a great industry for women, I would say.
Definitely, yes. I couldn't agree more. Thank you so much for sharing that. I'd love to end on, one final question. Any advice to maybe someone who, wants to enter into, the financial services industry, or I guess any general advice for, our listeners of the Wealth Management Podcast?
Sure. So back to the community. It is an incredible community. There are so many professionals who are more than willing to share their stories and help you explore if it's a right fit for you. So don't be shy. They're depending on the kind of subset of our industry, whether that's independent broker-dealer, RIA, or a wirehouse, or a private bank, or a boutique wealth management firm. There's going to be kind of different perspectives. But there is, I would say, in the independent space, especially, there is this aging dynamic of advisors. So we need to get more young people into our industry. And I think myself included, and even the more experienced individuals who have been in the industry for 30 plus years are definitely willing to share what their experience has been like, shadow them, ask good questions. We're definitely welcoming, I would say.
Yes, for sure. I think that's great. You never really know how much, mentors can help you until they do. So I think that's awesome
Exactly.
advice. Yes. Well, I want to thank you so much, Kara, for, being on Michigan State's Wealth Management podcast and, kind of sharing your journey and some advice with us. So thank you so much.
You got it, Hannah. Thanks so much for having me. Great questions, and good luck to you and the team. You're doing some incredible work.
Thank you.
If you like what you just heard, please like, comment, and share. This is Lance Mullen, producer of the MSU WMA podcast. MSU WMA, or Michigan State University Wealth Management Association, is a student organization part of the Eli Broad College of Business, located in East Lansing, Michigan. Our mission is to inspire and educate the next generation of financial planners. Thank you for listening to today's episode. If you enjoyed, please check out our channel on all platforms such as Spotify and Apple Podcasts, and check out our social media at MSUWMA and MSUWMA.com.